All right, Jay, Talk of the Town. This is episode 8.
Let's get it.
We're back. I hope y'all enjoyed that Nipsey Hussle type beat to start the show off because we don't have no top of the top segment today, so we got to pay homage with the beat instead.
That's the way to do it.
All right, y'all, we got a little short episode this week. We already talked about the Super Bowl last week, so if you missed that, you can check out the link in the description. It'll take you to last week's episode where we talked about the Super Bowl. But we're just going to do a little bit of basketball, talk about the Pro Bowl for a little while, joke that was the Pro Bowl, and then we'll wrap it up with a little bit of Roddy Ricch because he's been making news recently, and not in the way that you would have liked if you were a Roddy Ricch fan. But...
Nope.
We got some key things in the NBA to talk about, and first, that is the trade deadline. And most notable thing in the trade deadline is the rumor of James Harden being traded for Ben Simmons. So, Jay,
Benny.
I don't know how you feel about this. I know we've had our discussions about Harden in the past, but what do you think about this trade? Because me, personally, I don't know if it's even going to happen. Because there is a thought in my mind that Brooklyn is losing games on purpose, so that way they play on the road in the playoffs, and Kyrie can play the majority of the series.
That's not a bad analogy. But I don't think it's a bad trade. Truthfully, I really don't. Because I see in this trade is like, you know, with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, you have two primary ball handlers and, you know, two great scorers, you know, score the 3 ball, score the 2 ball, whatever you want, and get a bucket any way they want. And I say like, because like James Harden hasn't been putting up the numbers he's been putting up previously the past couple of years because he doesn't have the rock in his hand as much. And, you know, he's the type of player that he's the number one. He needs the ball in his hand. And, you know, even if he doesn't have to be the number one, he still can be the number two. So I see him going to Philly with Joel Embiid. I think that's a great 1-2 right there for them. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like they play the ball well. Joel Embiid would space the floor well. It would give so much, you know, it would give so much more creativity for James Harden to express his game more. But on Brooklyn's side, I think it's a good fit because one, if they were to send Ben Simmons and Seth Curry over there, one, they get a shooter out of Seth Curry.
Right.
You know, a great basketball player overall. I think he has a very high IQ. I like watching him play basketball. He may not does all the flashy things, but he does what great basketball players need to do on the court as role players. And as Ben Simmons, it's just like he wants to leave anyway. So I feel like him going there really wouldn't affect them dramatically. But I feel like he could still be a threat to opposing team because, like, you know, we're not gonna say act like he's not a great basketball player. He can put up 28 and 11 if he wanted to. You
Right.
know, that's the thing about it. But I don't know because like I don't know how he would mesh up with Kevin Durant because, you know, that's 2-star players right there. But yeah, what do you think about it though?
Here's what I will say. I don't like either of these basketball players. Now with me when it comes to the game of basketball, and if there's a player I dislike what they do on the floor, and I dislike them as a player. But when it becomes off the floor, whatever, right? I'm sure Harden's a great dude. But then what he did to Houston was ridiculous to me. So let's just go through the timeline here. James Harden becomes the star player number 1 in Houston, and he gets spanked by Steph Curry every year in the playoffs. Owned by Steph Curry, right? Every single time.
Yeah,
and
I
then
do.
we get to the bubble. He's got his homie Westbrook with him. He gets to the bubble. This could be our year, right? Finally, we don't have to go through Steph Curry. Oh, you just get spanked by LeBron instead. LeBron sends him home in 5. So now
God.
Harden's like, okay, Westbrook doesn't want to be here anymore. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to quit. I'm just going to quit on my team. And I'm gonna not put in any work over the offseason. I'm going to go to strip clubs with Lil Baby, and I'm just not going to put the work in. He shows up fat. He was fat.
Bent
He was
out of shape.
He was out of shape. And he sneaks his way out of Houston, and he weasels his way into a easy ring situation with Brooklyn. At least that's what he thought he was going to get. And now that he's here, there's no such thing as an easy ring. It's actually challenging.
No.
I can't just hop on board with 2 superstars and get a ring. I actually got to put some more work in and still be that guy I was in Houston.
He thought he was going to pull a KD with KD.
And now he wants out. And now he wants out again because he can't get an easy ring. So I'm starting to get a little bit tired of the James Harden stuff. And on the other side of that trade, you got Ben Simmons, who
Mm.
constantly has underperformed in the playoffs. And it got to the point last year where they got sent home and he was most of the problem. There's no excuse to be losing to Atlanta, first of all. But you've seen plays throughout that series where it's like, what is he doing? And then Doc Rivers comes out and he says, I don't know if we could win with Ben Simmons playing like that. You would rather sit out and lose millions of dollars than learn how to take a fucking jump shot?
Free throw. At
Just
that.
learn how to shoot the ball, bro. There's guys like
Free
Lou
throw.
Dort in the NBA. I don't know if you remember the bubble, but Lou Dort was sitting out on the perimeter, not being guarded at all. They weren't even paying no mind to him. The defender was sitting in the key and letting him shoot. And they said, go ahead, do what you got to do. Now he's knocked down.
Knockdown.
He's increased his percentage by like 8% from three. He's got the second longest consecutive streak of made three-pointers in a game. Granted, it's a lot behind Steph Curry, but to be second is pretty much number one because Curry's in a league of his own.
Yeah.
But that is impressive. Every year we do this with Ben Simmons, he's going to get better. He's going to learn how to shoot. And then he comes back and he still can't shoot. So, that being said, I think this is an even trade. You get one soft crybaby for another one soft crybaby. Even. Right? No, but in all seriousness, Embiid needs this trade to happen more than anybody.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Because Embiid has been playing out of his mind recently. And he's emerged as top 3 MVP frontrunner right now. And you got a guy named Ben Simmons who's not playing at all. He's taken up payroll. He's taken up a roster spot. So I said this when we did our trade deadline video the other day. I said anything is better than nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you got a guy like James Harden who, yes, he's not playing at the same level that he once was. But you got a guy like James Harden who's a true point guard if he wants to be, if that's the system they want to run, which they should. He's a true point guard. He can facilitate. He doesn't need to be the number one scorer anymore. He doesn't need to force his own shots. You got Joel Embiid who's going to score, and he's going to score efficiently. You got Tobias Harris who can knock it down a jump shot. He can get to the basket. You got Tyrese Maxey you can knock down a jump shot, get to the basket. Harden does not need the burden of being the number one scorer. He needs to be the number one facilitator.
That's the problem, though. I feel like that's where the disconnect comes into play. Because as we've seen in the previous years, what has Harden done and what has he wanted? And that's to be the number one scorer on the court.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because when Kevin Durant and Kyrie doesn't play, the man dropped a 33-point triple-double when they both didn't play, and the Nets still lost.
Yeah.
He's probably like, yo, what the fuck is happening right now? Excuse my language, but he's like, yo, 33-point triple-double and I'm still losing? Like, what is happening right now? But like if he can be a facilitator, if he can accept that role, I got Philly doing damage, bro. Because I listen, he may be a crybaby. He may have done some real sorry wussy stuff to get out of Houston.
Right.
But like at the end of the day, I still think he's not the best. He's not the best in the world, but I still think he's a great basketball player that can get it done with the teammate like Joel Embiid.
Right.
Because I feel like, you know, like you said, without you having to be worried about being a number one scorer, and that's all that waits on Joel Embiid. It's go out there and play ball, bro. Go out there and play ball.
I agree. And here's the thing that not a lot of people are going to acknowledge about James Harden, right? James Harden has always been called the best scorer in the league. I wouldn't even put him in the top tier scorers in the league.
No,
As a
I don't
number
think so
one,
either.
we had this best year in the NBA that James Harden had at 36 points per game, right? And everyone always loses their mind about that. I saw something about Twitter about how people are losing their mind about 36 points per game. He shot 11 free throws a game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 11 free chances to score the ball. And he shot
Mhm.
44% from the field. We've been bashing Curry for his down year this year. 42. Harden's best year was 44. He's not this elite scorer that people make him out to be. You put him as a number 2 option next to Joel Embiid, that's a totally different story. I've said for years that James Harden, the facilitator, is going to be better and more valuable than James Harden, the scorer. So now you surrounded him with scores and not just spot-up shooters like Mike D'Antoni wanted in Houston. You got scorers, Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey, and then pure domination in the post with Joel Embiid. That team is pretty scary. I do worry about one thing, Jay, and that's the other side of the ball. I worry about their defense. Because Harden is not guarding anything. Tyrese Maxey, he's quick, but he's not that good a defender.
He's too small.
So I don't know who they're going to be starting at the 3. Danny Green, possibly. He does play good defense, but he's a little older now. So I do worry about their defense, but I think this trade has to happen because of the fact that you don't have any production coming out of Ben Simmons right now. And James Harden is better than nobody.
Than nobody, yeah. A person who's not even stepping on the court or giving the effort,
Right.
Absolutely, absolutely. I totally agree with you on that. So, hopefully these GMs could talk something out because GM Swaggy is already...
I do want to go over to the flip side of this trade, though, in Brooklyn.
Okay, yeah.
Because I do feel like Ben Simmons is a solid piece for them.
Yeah.
Defense was a problem for Brooklyn. Ben Simmons, if we know nothing else about him, he's a really good perimeter defender. And he works on defense. He does. Truly, I think this is a good fit for Simmons because he doesn't have to shoot here. You got Blake Griffin, who, while he isn't a good shooter, he can be out there and it'll force the defender to come put their hand up. Joe Harris is one of the best shooters in the world. Seth Curry, if he's a part of this deal, one of the best shooters in the world. Kyrie Irving, great shooter, 50, 40, 90. KD, greatest scorer to ever live, 50, 40, 90.
Easily.
Ben Simmons doesn't need to worry about shooting. And he could play the point guard, too, because Kyrie doesn't want to be the point guard. Kyrie can be the 2, get the buckets only, and Simmons can facilitate. He can go out there 12, 8, and 8 a night. That's perfect for Brooklyn. And in an Eastern Conference that is wide open, I think both teams get better.
Absolutely.
That's something in trades that you don't see very often either.
Yeah, this will be a missed opportunity for both sides if it doesn't, if they don't play out to that. Because like you said, we've been seeing the trade rumors. This isn't the first time either. It's happened before. So it's like, hey, if you guys need to make something happen for both sides. Because like both sides aren't benefiting either way. That as of right now, none of these teams are benefiting. So they're like, what do you have to lose at this point? In the middle of the season, where the Cavaliers are now considered the 4th best team in the NBA.
That's
all
crazy.
Right? So, which is the most craziest thing in the world, because I bet LeBron's sitting at home like this. What the fuck is Cleveland, I'm coming back home again. But yeah, man, I hope I really hope that they can figure that out. I hope Ben Simmons can get something. Because I'm gonna be real with you, I like Ben Simmons a lot. In high school, I was a big Simmons guy. I wore 25 because of Ben Simmons. I really truly thought he would be like the next LeBron if he developed a jumper. Okay, even LeBron said, LeBron's like, yo, you have the potential to be like better than me. You just gotta learn how to shoot the ball.
Yeah, well, LeBron was probably scouting him, trying to get him in free agency. He didn't mean that shit.
But instead of him learning how to shoot the ball, he went on social media and he DM'd Shaq and was like, man, why you say that about me, man? Why you being mean to me, man? I just want to play basketball, man. You need to learn how to shoot for that damn free throw. When my punk ass was on that court and there was Shaq attacking me, they got a rule named after him, bro. You thought he was complaining? You thought he was complaining about getting fouled and going to the free throw line? No, he was going up to that free throw line like a man and missing them until he started, he wasn't making them all the time, but he still eventually got, I think, to like 50%?
It was not good, but
yeah. But yeah, man. But I got another player that I would love to be mentioned in the trade deadline, but as you mentioned it plenty of times to me, that it will never happen because nobody wants this whack-ass contract that he got. So my man's Russell Westbrook. All right. Russell Westbrook. This is his first season on the Los Angeles Lakers. When he was acquired by them, was it a trade or was it a trade, right?
Yep.
Was it a trade? Yep. When he was acquired by them in a trade, everyone thought, Lakers again. Lakers are going back to the NBA championship. They're about to go 72-9. Everybody, it was like the hottest thing in the world, bro. Everybody was so excited. But me, personally, I was not the happiest. But anyways, for my people who don't know, I'm going to talk about a stat called a plus-minus stat. It determines how well an individual player plays when he is on and off the court. Well, technically, it determines how well the team plays when he's on and off the court.
Right.
And it determines by calculating the difference in score when a player enters the game and when he comes out.
So let me give a quick example just in case.
Yeah.
So let's say Jalen's in the starting lineup and I'm off the bench, right? Jalen
Yep.
starts and they're winning by 4 when he comes out. So Jalen has a +4. I go
Yep.
in and then the game is tied when I come out. I am
Yep.
-4. So
Yep.
it's a difference in score when you're on the floor. So just to clear that up for everybody.
Perfect. Absolutely. Absolutely. So his worst plus minus was his rookie season in 2008 and 2009. He played 82 games. His plus minus was a negative 272 points. He averaged 32.5 minutes a game, 15 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, and 5 assists with a field goal percentage of 39.8%. Although his free throw percentage was 81.5. So you can't even be mad. I'm not mad at him for that, that season. It's his rookie year.
Right.
There's only so much you can. I can only imagine the other rookies that have played that year or the previous years or even in today's league. But as of 2022, 2021, 2022 season, 2021, 2022 season, Russell Westbrook has had his second worst plus minus season so far with only 54 games played, a negative plus minus of 107. This is where it gets bad. I mean, it doesn't get bad, but it's like, this is just like where it's iffy because it's like he's putting up, he's averaging 35 minutes per game. He's averaging 18.5 points per game, 7.8 rebounds a game, and 7.7 assists. So it's like those aren't, bad numbers, but it's when if you're not producing efficiently, if you're putting up those numbers, all right, let me finish that. His field goal percentage is 43.9%.
Mm-hmm.
He's attempting 16 field goals a game, and he's only making 7. And he's going to the free throw line. I don't know. I can't remember how many times a game, but he's only at his free throw percentage is 66.8% a game. How can you be a starting point guard, an all-star, one of the best point guards in the league if you can't even go 70% at the free throw line? I can't keep you in the game in the fourth quarter. You're shooting 66.8%.
Not as a guard.
Not as a guard. Exactly. Not as a guard. Absolutely not. You're shooting 43.7 field goal percentage. Throughout his career, he's not had the best one, but that's considered to be one of his, I think, top 3 lowest. And his record when he plays with the Lakers, as you could see, it is only 26 and 28.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been the best. It's like there's a misconnection. I don't know if the social media is getting to him, if the fans are getting to him, because, dude, the other day they were booing him when it's getting real sad and pathetic because it's like, I feel for him, but at the same time, it's like, dude, I was talking to my boy the other day at work. I was like, did you see Westbrook? He's still trying to shoot that bank shot. Why are you still trying to shoot that bank shot? And you keep hitting the top left of the backboard every single time you shoot the damn bank shot. Attack the basket, dog. It's like, and he has those days where, and against the Hornets, he dropped 33.
Mm-hmm.
He dropped 30 and a half, actually, I think it was, or 25 and a half. Yep. Most by players since I don't know when. So it's like, but then again, it's like, can we really take those numbers and do something with it, considering it's the Charlotte Hornets, who a team that shot themselves in the foot because they were up by like, I think, almost 20.
Right.
And it's just like, I don't know, man. It's just I'm really feeling for this man right now because he's not being productive on the court. And as a point guard, you are the most productive player on the court. You run that team, basically. Right. Without you, it doesn't happen. It's like I'm not saying, I don't mean to bring this up, but like Brady, I'm not saying we lost Brady, junior year, even though we were trash. I was trash. Guess what, guys? My junior year, Peyton did a plus minus for me. And I was like, I had a plus of like 10, 15
Listen,
when I was on the court. And then they took me out.
Hey, if there's anybody you want to ask about plus minus, it's us. We might not score the damn basketball, but when we were on the floor, good things happen. That's all I know.
Hey, great things happen. The ball was moving.
Hell yeah.
Moving. But like, yeah, man, Westbrook, if I'm going to send this to you personally, this is all love. I just need you to get off socials, get your mind right, do something. Hopefully during the All-Star break, you can come back refurbished and be better because, dude, it's getting bad, man. And I'm gonna be real with you. It's not looking too bright for you in Los Angeles if this continues up. And it's not looking too bright for LeBron either, because you know how he gets. His ass be ready to pack up his bags and go. But other than that, I really don't got nothing else to say. You know, blessings to him. I really do wish he can pull this together because it's not looking good. It's not looking good.
So here's what I want to say, Jay, and this is interesting because I'm kind of on the opposite side of the spectrum here. I do want to start off by saying I feel very bad for Russell Westbrook. I really do. Because when you play with LeBron James, if your team underperforms, there needs to be a scapegoat. There needs to be somebody that the LeBron fans can point at and say, that's the reason we suck. And I'll tell you the reason they suck as we continue on. I know you're not saying that. I'm just
okay.
Acknowledge, because there's people that are going to say Westbrook is the reason that we are bad. It's not true, okay? That's not true.
At all, no.
For one, Jay, you said Russell Westbrook played, 54 games this year?
So far, yes.
The Lakers have played 54 games this year.
Yes.
That means Westbrook's played every single game.
Every single game.
Anthony Davis has played 33. LeBron's played 37. So you got a decent amount of games where Westbrook is out there as the number one guy, and he's got no LeBron, no AD, and that's where all the Lakers' money is. So you can't expect great talent otherwise. Malik Monk is a really good player. I'll give you that. Carmelo Anthony's past his prime. He'll knock down the shots. I know that. He's not guarding anybody. Malik Monk's not guarding anybody. I respect Avery Bradley's defense, but he's not enough on that side of the ball. So, for one, Russell Westbrook is playing every single game this year, for one.
Yes.
While LeBron has been out twice over an extended period of time with an injury. He just came back from his second extended period of time, and Anthony Davis has missed 1 to 2 months. He just got back.
Yeah, he just got back. Knee contusion.
So now what I want to point out is that this is the guy LeBron and AD wanted, right? This guy exactly is who they wanted. And what I mean by that is you're taking Russell Westbrook from Washington, where he was a number 1, number 2 option. Houston, number 1, number 2. OKC, number 1, number 2. And he's putting up these great numbers, these triple doubles all the time. And now you make him a number 3 option. You look at his numbers this year, Jay. All of them look exactly like his career numbers. The turnovers, the field goal percentage, the 3-point percentage. They all look exactly like it does for the rest of his career. And the only thing that's low is the points. And the reason that is because now he's behind LeBron James, who's averaging 28, 29, and Anthony Davis, who's averaging 25. So the points drop off completely makes sense to me. This is what they signed up for. This is what LeBron and AD wanted when they met with Westbrook and when they met with Pelinka and they said, we want Westbrook, do what you got to do to get him. This is who they wanted. The numbers are exactly what they should have expected. If you look at his field goal percentage this year, it's the exact same as his career average.
But it is. So, that's what I said. 43.7.
For this year, the inefficient Westbrook, I put that in quotes because I do think that he's playing inefficiently, but that's how he plays, for one. For two, I'm going to name off a couple players that he's shooting better than from the field this year.
I'm intrigued.
Damian Lillard. James Harden.
Okay.
First-time All-Star Fred VanVleet.
Okay.
Paul George.
Okay. Whoa.
Steph Curry. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. First-time All-Star LaMelo Ball. All-Star Jason Tatum. He's shooting better than all of them. But if you ask, you'd say the inefficiency is what the problem is for Russell Westbrook. It's not. This is who Russell Westbrook is. You take the ups and downs of sometimes he'll go off for, like you said, against Charlotte, 33, 30 in the second half. This is what he does. This is how he plays. The numbers are not going to change much. Like you said, when they first brought him in, I said, I don't know about this. Someone's got to shoot the ball there because Anthony Davis is not a good three-point shooter. LeBron James is a average three-point shooter, and Russell Westbrook is not a good three-point shooter. And then they go out Kendrick Nunn, who for some reason hasn't played, but that's for another time.
Yeah, I know he hasn't played.
Malik Monk, bucket. Wayne Ellington, shooter. Avery Bradley, spot-up shooter. Carmelo, spot-up shooter. Ariza, spot-up shooter. You got all these spot-up shooters now. I'm coming into the season
with no defense.
Exactly, Jay. The people that are pointing at Westbrook as the problem need to wake up and realize Westbrook's not the problem. Vogel's not the problem. There is no scapegoat. The whole
No.
team cannot play defense. Nobody on this team is guarding anybody. I looked a couple days ago, it might have been last week, where they played Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Jokic is the best player on Denver. He came out publicly and said, everybody know we can't shoot.
Yeah, he did not just do it.
The Lakers let them shoot 58% from the field. Your best player knows that they can't shoot, and you're still letting them shoot 58%. They can't guard anybody. Nobody on that team can guard anybody. You stick LeBron on the worst player. If he's supposed to be a great defender, then let him be a great defender. Put him on the best scorer. This dude's out there hacking RJ Barrett all night when I was watching that game. He can't guard. Westbrook can't guard. You got to pray with Ariza, but nobody on that team can guard. That is the Lakers' problem, and
I think
it will
honestly,
be as the season continues.
No, yeah, it is. That's my problem though. Is it's like you said how like he was the only player for like probably about 20 so games.
Right.
That's the problem. It's like in my head, it's like those 20 extra games that you've had by yourself is like how it's not saying that how haven't you found your groove yet, but it's like what I can't keep like this. It's happened in games that he's been played by himself and games with LeBron and AD where I'm seeing him shoot the way he shoots and like it's just like it's just something's not clicking for me. I'm not saying it's his fault. Like I'll never point the blame on one player because honestly, basketball is a team sport, and if one player is inefficient, it does not matter because there's also 15 other players there, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like like I said, it's the defense. They are horribly defensive. I remember when they was like, "Oh, we're bringing in Avery Bradley in for defense." I'm like, bro, Avery Bradley played defense years ago when he was on the Celtics. This is not Celtics Avery Bradley.
That's true.
Avery Bradley is going on probably 33, 34. So it's like, dude, you can't. As for LeBron, this man's about to be 38. He like you said, he was over here. He had RJ Barrett give him 30. Granted, him and RJ Barrett going back and forth, but RJ Barrett still gave him 30.
Yeah.
Hit the game time 3. So it's like, it just doesn't make sense to me. They're in these close games with these teams like the Knicks. Like the Knicks don't even want to play one of their probably their third best options right now. I wanted to talk about that. Totally off topic, but like Tom Thibodeau, how selfish can you be? You're gonna sit here and tell a player you do not want to play him because he was not requested in a trade? You can't even give the kid a chance, who's actually starting to put up efficient numbers for the Hawks at the end of that last like 5 streak game that he was playing with them. That is ridiculous, dude. And to say that knowing he's playing with RJ Barrett before, it's like, bro, you don't know what those two can do together. They played together before. What if they get that little spark because it's a 1-2 since they have those, they know how each other plays, that fills out. But anyways, yeah, the Lakers are a shit show. I don't have them even making it past the second round this year. And if they do, it's only because the only problem is a team really has to beat them in 7. Not even, they got to beat them 4 games. And there's not a lot of teams that could beat a team with LeBron on them. As we could see, we've seen LeBron play with terrible teams. That year when he got spanked by the Warriors in championship, like that whole playoff series, that whole playoffs was just LeBron literally just going bucko sick crazy. And even when he was getting his ass whipped in the championship in the Warriors, he was going bucko crazy. But like you said, there's only so much you can do. There's only so much less defense you can play because as of right now, they are probably one of the worst defensive teams.
26th out of 30 in points allowed on average.
Thank you for that.
112 points a game they're allowing. 112.
Thank you for solidifying my statement.
Just to hammer that home, they're in between Detroit and Portland. That's how bad they are on defense.
That's how bad they are. And the thing is, no one's even talked. Well, Detroit, damn, Detroit. That makes me sad. I thought they was doing something over there.
I was hoping they'd get better, but
yeah, I was hoping that. I thought something was doing over there. But as of Portland, has Dame even
I think they're shutting him down. He hasn't played in like a month.
I think he fell off the face of the earth, bro. I haven't heard that man's name in forever.
Oh yeah, the referee said no more foul baiting, and he said, "Man, I'm done."
Him and Trey. Well, Trey Young's been hooping.
Trey figured it out.
Trey been figured it. He figured it out, but sometimes he's like,
People be posting
Bro,
people be posting James Harden stat lines and they're like, "Oh, I thought Harden was affected by the rule change." Man, he's shooting 42%. Shut your ass up. 22 points on 42%. Stop. Stop. No more flopping. It's over.
No more
Hang it
flopping.
up.
I love that. I love that rule.
I do want to wrap it up with the Lakers here and just say that I think the main problem right now with Russell Westbrook, because there is a problem with Westbrook, the swag is gone. The confidence is gone. When was the last time you saw Russ hit somebody with one of these? He's got no confidence left. And when your home crowd is booing you for taking a pull-up jump shot, I know he missed badly. It was embarrassing. It was a terrible shot. But you're getting booed at home. That's got to kill your confidence. You're a former MVP. You're an all-star. First-team All-NBA player. You're getting booed by your home crowd who so desperately wanted you that offseason. You get the ball open in the corner. You get the ball open in the corner, and the crowd goes, "No,
don't shoot.
Come on, man!" Like, I understand why there's confidence issues right now. Because when I watch Westbrook, there's no confidence, and I know what pissed me off about Westbrook, but I also loved was his fire, his competitiveness. When he's playing my team, God damn, he's always shit talk. I'm tired of this. But when he's playing other teams, I love watching it. It's just like John Morant. The trash talk, the in-your-face aggressiveness. I love that about Westbrook, and he doesn't have that right now. I think the only thing to point to is confidence. I think he's completely lacking confidence, which is unreasonable based on the numbers that I just told you with his field goal percentage, his turnovers. That's the player he is, and that's the player he's always going to be. That's the player they wanted. That's the player they got. If they trade him, they trade him. I don't see that happening because of that huge contract, and I don't think they have anybody else to give up. Realistically, what team is going to want an older player past their prime? Is it going to be a young team? No. They want to get younger. They want draft picks. Is it going to be a playoff pushing team? No, because they're going to have to give up a key role player. The market for Westbrook has to be tiny right now. The Lakers have to stick it out, and he's not the problem. They need to be trading Horton Tucker. None. They need to bring in defensive pieces. I love Malik Monk. I think he's a great player. Sixth man. Has to be. Somebody in that starting lineup has to be able to guard on the perimeter. I'm not claiming that bringing in a good wing defender is going to fix them, but it's a step in the right direction because, like you said, beating LeBron and Anthony Davis in 7 games is not going to be easy no matter who it is. I think the play-in game is a bigger threat than anything because you lose one and you're done. You're done, yeah. You can always lose one. You know, LeBron's lost game ones many times in his career. Many times. And he's come back to win the series plenty. So I think the play-in is a bigger concern for the Lakers. But like I said, I feel bad for Westbrook, man. I hope that confidence gets back up. I hope they stick with him. I hope he doesn't get traded. I don't see him getting traded, even if there is a slight market for him, even if that's what the Lakers want to do. But we'll have to see how that plays out. By the time you're watching this video, you might already be hearing news about where he's going because trade deadline's in like 2-3 days. So I'm sure there's rumblings going on right now. But
shaking the room.
All right. I feel like now's the time to go to a little bit of a lighter topic that we're not as serious about. But we got to talk about the Pro Bowl, man. We got to talk about it. This isn't going to be a long segment, but we do have to talk about it.
I would say the highlight of the Pro Bowl was Mac Jones gritty.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
I don't know if there's ever been one play that made me like somebody other than that. That might be the first time in my life I've ever seen one singular play, and I'm like, I fuck with that guy now. I like him.
That was dope.
So I'm like, hell yeah, Mac. Bill Belichick was probably at home like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? What is he doing? This stupid little dance.
You probably texted him, you do that again, you're going to be running all day, embarrassing the Patriots organization.
That is not the Patriots way. We're gonna bring in Jared Stidham if you keep doing nonsense like that, Mac.
But nah, I mean, so I seen some controversial things from the players too. So I seen 2 players basically say that they're like, oh, you guys are tripping, you know. Why would we risk our health and our bodies for millions of dollars, you know, just for a stupid All-Star game? And it's just like, and then I've seen NFL legends who were getting paid the millions of dollars in that time that was worth basically what the money in today's game is worth. And they're saying like, yo, that's not football. You got primetime Deion.
Don't play then. You know.
And exactly, it's like I'm pretty sure it was an all well thing. Because even though, like, I will say it's not even the players probably. it's probably it's influenced by them, but it's more so I feel like it's probably what is it, the NFLPA, what is it,
Right, the
yeah,
Players
NFL Player
Association.
Association. So like they're probably like, hey guys, like we want to have fun out there, but we do
Yeah.
want to keep you guys safe because as the years go on, we do find more and more cases of TTE, people getting long term injuries, So it's like I'm in the middle about it, but more so I just wish, at least one little tackle, not
I
this
mean,
two
dude,
hand
they're
touch
playing
shit.
two-hand
Because
touch
is
football.
like is at this football is at this point it's like, hey, just put some flags on your waist then.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Just put
You
some flags on your waist.
you announced the Pro Bowlers. You announced that the lineman made it. Congratulations, Quentin Nelson. You made it. Proud of you. You're the best. You're the best offensive lineman in football. Congrats. You don't get to come. You don't get to play. I mean, you can come, but you don't play. 7-on-7, 6-on-6. Give them flags if this is how we're gonna play, because it's embarrassing. Why would you watch
It is.
that? Like they're not even. They're barely
I-
even touching. Like it's literally two-hand touch football. I play more
I
physical
seen-
football in my backyard.
I've seen a couple players just go tap and then go like,
Literally,
I'm
and
like,
they blow
I'm
the
like,
whistle.
yo, just wrap him up at least a wrap up.
Right.
I don't if you don't tackle to the foot, but just little nice little jack him up a little bit. But yeah, it's like if I paid to go see that game live in person and I didn't see one
Oh,
player
man.
get tackled,
So mad.
I'd be upset.
I'd be so
I'd
mad.
100
I gotta
I'd be
give credit
upset.
to
Like,
Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson not going, because you can't see explosive dudes like that
oh,
not
they didn't.
playing.
See. I didn't even watch it. I watched like highlights of it.
No,
It's
I
just, like,
didn't
knew
watch it
that-
either. I saw one drive
Oh.
and I said, this is a joke, and I turned it off. But I do
Okay,
want to say
okay.
thank God that Lamar and Josh Allen were not there, because the two most explosive quarterbacks in football having to get stopped by two hands, embarrassing.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
So good
Lamar
thing that they
Jackson would have
didn't
been
go.
like,
I don't even know if he's healthy, to be honest, but if he is,
nah, he's probably not.
it's a good
That's
thing
probably
he
why he
didn't.
didn't play.
But I do like the mini games that they play. I think those are super entertaining.
No, those are dope.
And if that's
Like
all the Pro
dodgeball,
Bowl is, then so be it. You invite
So
the
be
Pro
it.
Bowlers. You select the Pro Bowlers in the AFC. I think it was Mahomes, Herbert, and Lamar. I'm not saying other folks didn't deserve it more, but
yeah,
you invite the people that made it, and then you come and you let them play drills and games, and that's your Pro Bowl. Whatever. The Pro Bowl doesn't mean anything. It doesn't get you anything, right? Maybe a trophy for the MVP. Who cares? Get everybody that wins a minigame an individual trophy. Have quarterback minigames, running back, receiver. You could do something with the line too. I don't know, Jay. I didn't play football, but I'm sure they can come up with something.
Nah,
Because we
there's
cannot, we
plenty of
can't, we
things they
can't
come
keep
up with
watching
it.
this. Nobody wants to see that.
Nah.
That game was just an embarrassment, and nobody wants to see that. So I'm sure
A
they
lot
can
of
run
people are
some.
pissed.
You could literally just run drills and turn them into competitions, and the winner gets
That's literally-
gets a little trophy. Like,
I
and
got-
that'd
I
be
would
much
rather
more
watch-
entertaining than that.
Like I said, I'd rather watch literally probably 5 to 10 rounds of dodgeball at this point.
Yeah, dodgeball
guess
is
what?
great. It was
Because
so
guess
much
what?
fun.
Someone's getting hit.
Exactly. Exactly.
But I'm gonna send this to the NFLPA too because you guys need to figure that
Yeah,
out.
If I had to
'cause
make
you're
one,
losing-
if I had to make one statement that gets clipped and made or sent to them, get rid of the game. It's a joke. Everybody that gets nominated to the Pro Bowl should be playing mini games for a trophy, and that should be your Pro Bowl. You invite your Pro Bowlers, the people that make it, and they play mini games. They play the quarterback accuracy thing, the arm strength. I don't know what they call it.
yeah, that
You throw,
I would
whoever
love
throws
to
the ball
see.
farthest wins. Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes,
Josh
Josh Allen.
Allen.
Come on, bro. That's so much better than watching
That's
two-hand
fun.
touch. Then get rid of it. Get rid of the game. It's a joke.
And don't be money hungry. Because if you really were concerned, if you were concerned about these players' health, you probably wouldn't even be having this game anymore.
Right.
It's no point. If you're really just trying to bring in those ticket sales, figure something else to do. Because like Payne said, there is no reason for us to be watching two-hand touch on live television when it's called National Football League. It's not called the National Two-Hand Touch League, not the National Flag Football League, the National
Real
Football
This
League.
is real football.
So yes, please figure that out with all considerations of Peyton and Jalen.
Right.
Much love. Hey yo, late at night,
Oh no.
kiss me in the morning.
All right. This isn't where I wanted this to go, man. But to wrap up this show, we're gonna go into a direction that we haven't gone to in a while, and that's music. We're gonna talk about music. We're gonna talk about someone who used to be one of my favorite artists in the world, Roddy Ricch. So, for those that don't know, Roddy Ricch is the man who made the song "The Box." Diamond record in less than 2 years.
A TikTok hit.
A hit. He made High Fashion a hit. He made Ballin' with Mustard another hit. Please excuse me for Antisocial. I believe is one of the best trap albums to ever grace a streaming service.
Yeah, that was like one of the best albums in the last decade.
And then this year, we got this thing called Live Life Fast. And that man Roddy told us, great cover. And then this man Roddy told us, this is a no-skip album.
And skip numbers 1 through 5 and then 8 through 10.
If you guys have watched any videos on my channel, you know I tend to do first listen reactions to album I'm really excited for. I put my camera on me, right? I got home from watching Spider-Man, and I put my camera on me. I said, all right, Roddy Ricch, one of my favorite artists in the world, sophomore album.
He was excited, bro. I'm telling you.
And I hit that first song, LLF, the intro. I'm like, okay, this is kind of riding. This is going to be good. High dollar vocals in the background. And then the second song comes on. Thailand. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that song?
Oh my gosh. I took my bitch to Thailand. I took a bitch to Thailand. He brought her back from Thailand.
Hot like some cayenne. What? What? It took you 2 years to say your homies are hot like some cayenne? Are we serious, bro? This shit took 2 years to come out, and it sounded like it was made in a basement in a weekend. The next song, Roller Coaster. Shut the fuck up. All good. These are 3 of the worst songs I've heard in the last 3 years.
It was like back to back to back.
So bad. And it took, I think the point I'm trying to make here is that it took 2 years for this album to come out. It took 2 years for it to come out. It took 2 years to work on. And that's what it sounded like? I couldn't, like, I think there's 2 songs that I go back to annually. That's Murder One and 25 Million. And even those, I don't know if they're that good or if it's just that they're so not as bad as the other ones.
Nah, that's what it is. Because honestly, there's like 3, but it's not that I like them because they're great songs. It's the fact that they stand out a lot
of a
more
track list
than
that's
the other
shite.
To, like, I don't even know. Like, I literally remember you texting me. You was like, I'm excited. I'm about to go see Spider-Man. Roddy's dropping tonight.
Right.
Peyton texted me that morning. Well, not even that night, because you know how Peyton is. Freaking owl.
Bro, come on.
He texted you that night, and he's like, bro, this is the worst fucking music I've ever heard. And then for us to wait 2 years, like you said, like, he talked about that release for the longest, hyped it up the most, had us thinking this was. We were like, yo, should we include this? And the thing is, we almost included that in our nomination video for Music of the Year. Mm-hmm. I was this close. I was like, Payne, we should do it. He's like, nah, bro, don't do it. We're not gonna do it because it's next year. So I was like, all right, bet. And good thing we didn't.
Yeah, what he means is we were going to preemptively put it there because when we sent out our document for people to vote, it was before the album came out. And we anticipated that it would be to the level of Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial. So we said, let's put it on here. And I said, no, we'll wait till next year because it's going to be charting the most next year. That shit ain't charting at all. It's ass.
I honestly don't think it made the Hot 100.
It did for the first couple weeks.
It did?
To go back to the point, the reason that this is a conversation right now is because Roddy Ricch posted another snippet on his Twitter. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad, but it was not good. And the replies told him so. They said, this isn't good, man. Like, you gotta, like, what happened is pretty much it. And he deleted his Twitter. He deactivated his social medias. And the thing that really gets me upset is that, like, you put it on the internet. Did you just not expect the internet to respond? And another thing that also gets me mad is that there's people on Twitter that are like, man, y'all gotta leave Roddy alone. Like, y'all gotta let that man live. Where was this energy when we were making fun of Chance the Rapper for 3 fucking years?
Yo,
Ain't nobody saying you got to be easy on Chance the Rapper. We were making fun of
Ain't
Hot
nobody
Shower
said
for
that.
3 years.
for a while, bro. It's like, ha, hoo, ha.
People still are making fun of Chance the Rapper. Like you get people on Polo G's replies calling him Piano G all the time. Why are we telling people to ease up on Polo G? Why is it only because Roddy Ricch got his feelings hurt that people now are upset about it? Everybody's gonna get critiqued.
Trash.
I'm a small content creator, tiny content creator. My videos get hate. I'm sure my homie Nick Rose gets hate. Everybody that creates is going to get hate at some point or another. Obviously not on the scale of Roddy Ricch, but when you come out here and you're one of the biggest in the world and you put out a bullshit album that sounded like it was made in a couple days and you call it a no-skip album, like, did he even listen back to that?
I don't think so.
Bro.
I think he played the album in the car with the music down.
I feel bad. I feel bad for him. I really feel bad for Roddy Ricch. I do. Because he seems like a genuine person. You know, he doesn't seem like one of them fugazi people in the industry that just do what's hot. Because this shit definitely wasn't hot. I'll tell you that much. But I do feel bad for him because he was on top of the world. But he made this. It wasn't like somebody else made the album and wrote it and said, this is the flow you got to do. He made that shit and he put it out. So he did do it to himself. I know it hurts me to say because I was such a big fan of Roddy Ricch. I was defending him to my grave. Baby Keem comparisons on Twitter, Lil TJ, which still isn't close. He's still miles ahead of TJ, but that's not my point. I've been defending him for a while. And then this came out. I can't defend him like that anymore. And this album was so bad that it ruined my expectations for new albums. Like, I don't even know if I want Lil Baby to drop Lamborghini Boys. I don't even know what to expect now. Because I think, damn, My Turn was a big step up. That's the problem. So he's going to drop another great album. But it took 2 years for Roddy Ricch to come out with this. I lost my anticipation for most of my favorite artists now.
That was the problem. It was like he came out with that album, and it was like not the recent album. I'm having a brain fart.
Please excuse me.
Yeah, please excuse me. He came out with the album, and it was his flow. It was him. It was Roddy Ricch. You know, it was something we never heard before. It was I Don't Want to Die Young. You know,
right.
It was that type of wave. And then, as time went on, he was like, all right, I'm dropping my next album coming out soon. And as we were waiting, he's probably over here listening to these new artists, listening to Baby, listening to Baby Keem, Lil TJ, Polo G, and he hears their flow, and he hears how they're delivering. And like honestly, like that whole album, the new album, Living Fast, I truly believe that's not his work. I think he was trying to be too modern and too up to date with everyone else. Like the beats were good, but the flow wasn't there. It was just, like I said, he was just trying to be like a little baby.
Totally different flow.
Or it was a totally different flow than the Roddy Ricch.
I do want to slightly not correct you, but when I listen to Please Excuse Me, I don't know if this is everybody, but I did hear a lot of Thug and Future inspired. Flows.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But here's the thing, those are all-time greats of the genre.
Mm-hmm.
What he sounds like now is nothing like that. How do we go from Perfect Time, High Fashion, War Baby to
War Baby?
Flew my bitch out from Thailand. Man, how do we go?
That shit sound just like him.
How did we go from? How did we go from one to the other, man? I don't know, but to wrap it up, I do want to say I hope that his mental is all right because it does happen to artists and a lot of people.
Fairly amount.
I know that I've critiqued the shit out of his album. I've been calling it ass since it came out. But I'm not going out of my way to attack him on Twitter. I don't know if people are going at him and attacking him personally like that. But if it's like, man, your music sucks. This album sucked. This snippet sucked. That happens to every artist, man. And for the people that are saying you got to lay off Roddy Ricch, keep that same energy for everybody else.
Everybody.
Don't say you got to lay off Roddy Ricch just because he got upset about it. You know what I'm saying? Let's not do that. I understand if the people are going at him in a way that's disrespectful, I understand. But when you put a snippet on the internet and it's bad, you put it on the internet. It's on the internet now. There's other people on the internet. They're gonna reply. So that's my thing. Like, it's his song that he put on his Twitter, and people are mad at Twitter users for replying. That's what I don't understand. Like, that's what the internet is. Love it or hate it. I don't like it, but that's just the way it works. And it sucked, man. I hope he can get back to form with Feed the Streets 3 coming, because we're not just going to act like he was a one-album wonder. Feed the Streets 1 and 2 were really good mixtapes. It just so happened that Please Excuse Me was a giant step up, and it was a great album. Truly,
the production was crazy.
Truly one of my favorite albums of all time. Not just trap, not just rap even. Any genre. I think it was amazing. I think it's one of the best trap records of all time, one of the best debut albums in the last decade. So I hope he figures it out, man. I really do.
I can agree with you, bro. I can agree with you. It was, honestly, the last album was 11 Fast was so bad that when I clicked Twitter and I seen the snippet and I just scrolled past it. and I didn't find out about it until you told me that it was that. Yeah. And I was glad I didn't click that, because, bro, if I would have found out first, Peyton's phone would have been on fire. I would have, oh my gosh. Yeah. But yeah, man, thank you guys for tuning in. Whenever you do tune into this, it was an amazing episode. It was a quick one. But overall, I hope y'all got some insight on things. Y'all can do DDs on that Ben Simmons, James Harden trade for us, because, somebody got some more details and inside scoop out there. But, have a nice night. Take care.
This was a little bit of a different approach. Not a lot of football, and this is the direction we're going to be going in the future. So if you guys are watching the full-length episode on my second channel, Peyton Uncut, I appreciate you guys watching the whole thing, sticking it out with us, listening to all the things we got to talk about. If you guys are watching the individual video, any video that you might have just watched, because obviously you can hear my voice right now, so you watched it, drop a like, man. Thank you for watching. We appreciate y'all. Jay, you messed up. Now we got to do it again.
We appreciate y'all.
We appreciate y'all so much for watching. We'll see y'all next week. Thank you for watching.